Average American, if somebody brings up Canadian healthcare, will say that you're going to die or it's subpar, or they have all these myths that they say the propaganda machine of big pharma and big healthcare has pushed it. I lived in Canada. For
Yeah.
7 years. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it was the best healthcare I ever had in my life from people who truly were interested in seeing me healthy.
Yeah. They don't have to worry about, and actually that's a very good point. And let's not, or please make sure I don't forget about the whole like how much they pay for kids
Yeah.
to have kids over there. But
Oh yeah.
one of the biggest problems with our healthcare is, it's not even just the money around it and the insurance itself, but the simple fact that you go to an American doctor, not only are they working to make money, because they like the reason why they shuffle you in and out is because they have to see a certain amount of customers to make enough money that day to support their actual firm. So they have to
Yeah.
shuffle us in and out. So they already have a business model and business incentive to not really care to give you the time, but rather treat you as a number. But the other problem is that they, if they do spot a problem or a potential problem, they have to weigh, say, like giving you an X-ray or MRI against getting paid from the insurance company, because they have a
Right.
whole room of people whose sole job is to argue with Aetna or Blue Cross Blue Shield and make the case that you had to have that MRI. And Aetna's job is to say no, you didn't, and we don't
Yeah.
want to pay you that money. So they have to go through this whole battle of getting the money just to treat your
Yep.
ass, right? Canadians don't
Yep.
have to worry about that.
Dude, I got caught in the system.
What happened?
Well, you remember when we was down in Alabama, and oh, you
Mm,
might have left. We were playing kickball.
I heard. Yeah, okay, I remember the story.
I fell. I hit the ground. And you know what? I come from a family and a dad that used to have a saying: "Are you hurt or are you injured?"
You played football. That's a football
Right?
saying.
Right. So hurt means um, you need a moment, but you get back in there. Injured means you need to go see a medical professional.
Right.
Right. I knew I was injured. Couldn't lift my arm up. Right. I knew I was jacked up. Right. I
Damn.
played it off because I couldn't mess up my cool. I was in front of people playing kickball with kids. Like I can't act like I'm hurt, right? But I come back. I'm trying to hack the pain out. I go to the emergency room and I fuck up. I
Oh.
walk in and the first thing I say is I need pain meds. You can't do
Where's
that.
where the tracks at, junkie?
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that in Las Vegas. All right. So they gave me one pill they administered while I was there and told me I needed to get a primary care doctor because, like most people, I didn't really have a doctor because I didn't feel like I need one. I'm healthy, right? So I go get a doctor. I go and see him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you this cortisone shot." And I'm like, "Dude, I think I got a torn rotator cuff." He's like, "How do you know what you have?" I'm like, "I can read symptoms online. Like, it's not hard, right? Like, I understand you went to a lot of schooling, but some of this shit is not rocket science, right? Like, so I'm
Right.
like, I got a torn rotator cuff." He's like, "Well, you shouldn't be able to do this." I was like, "Motherfucker, I can't." Right? He's like, "Oh, you're just not trying
Would
hard
you thought this was
enough."
a gotcha question? Like, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I can't do this.
I can't do it. He's like, "You're not trying hard enough, right?" So he gives me a shot of cortisone. I call him back. It felt good for a couple of days, but because it's cortisone, right? I hit him up. It's like, "Yeah, this shit ain't working. I'm still in pain." I come back there. He does another test. He's like, "All right, I'm going to send you for an X-ray." I'm like, "Look, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but a torn rotator cuff is not going to show up on an X-ray, right? It's muscle and tissue, right? Like, I need an MRI." Well, Blue Cross Blue Shield doesn't won't let me do an MRI until I do an X-ray.
Oh
And I
my
go,
god.
"Why?" He was like, "Because the X-ray's cheaper." And I go, "Great." I go do the X-ray. It comes back. I don't see anything on the X-ray. Dumb motherfucker. Like, of course you're. Yeah, give me an X-ray to see I got a torn ACL. Like, fucking genius shit, right?
Right,
So
right.
then he finally sends me for the MRI, right? After he argues with the insurance company through that whole peer-to-peer mediation thing they have to do. Finally gets me in there. I do an MRI. I walk back in the office, and I think for a while he thought I was maybe looking for drugs. Because I go in there and be like, I need something stronger. I need something stronger. What you're giving me is not strong enough. He got me now on like fucking oxys and perks and shit. I'm still telling him it hurts too much.
Get the good shit out here.
Yeah, like I need better shit, right? So I go in there after we get the MRI out of it, and the look on this man's face, he was like, I am so sorry, miss. I'm so sorry, sir.
Yes.
I am so sorry. And I'm like, why? He was just like, I don't even know how you're functioning.
Wow.
He was like, there's 4 muscles in your rotator cuff. 2.5 of them are torn. 2 of them are completely torn. And one of them, he's like, those tests must have been excruciating. I'm like, yeah, they were. And he was just like, here, this is the strongest stuff I could give you, right? I'm like, by this time, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter, right? I've been dealing with the pain. I'm fine. He scheduled me for surgery. 2 weeks later, I go in, all kinds of shit. They have to take my shoulder apart. I got bone spurs. I got 3 torn muscles. They had to put stem cells in my shit. I'm good today.
Yeah.
Right? But
stem cells. So you got a baby shoulder now.
I got a baby
That's just brand new.
Dude, 6 months before I had surgery from injury. Being treated like a drug addict the whole time.
Right.
Having to justify and step through. I mean, and dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a family plan and I pay close to $1,500 a month in insurance.
Just for you to go through this entire rigmarole when you need it. It's like you don't even use the shit. Obviously you take the kids, for their checkups and stuff, but you don't even use the shit, and they collect all your money just for the one time you actually need it, and to fuck you up like that.
And they make you fight for it, right? It make you feel like something's wrong with you, and
right.
They
toss in the copay. You got to pay them to treat you that way.
And you don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about the copays, man. It's like, I feel sorry for my poor HR lady. I was on a call with her and she talked about how great our benefits were. And I'm like, really? Have you used them?
Great's a relative term. It's like compared to going to the back alley.
It's better than not having any, I guess. But still.
Yeah.
It could be some bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey,